You are given that m equals to a plus b over square root of xy minus xz. Make x the subject of the formula a, and b. Find x when m equals to 5, a equals to 12, b equals to 8, y equals to 7.5, and z equals to 4. So the first thing we need here, bring out the subject, which is m equals to a plus this over square root of xy minus xz. This is the equation that is given. First thing I need to do here to simplify this equation is I must cross multiply. So if you cross multiply now, if you cross multiply, this becomes m multiplied by root of xy minus xz, everything equals to a plus b. Now for me to remove this square root from this, I must take the square of both sides. So if I decide to take the square of both sides, taking the square of both sides, the last part, m equals to square root of xy minus xz equals to a plus b. So take the square of both sides, square both sides, such that the square will remove the square root. So I have m squared dot xy minus xz squared equals to a plus b, also square. So at this point, square a cancel the square root, so I'm left with m squared in bracket of xy minus xz equals to a plus b squared. I'm asked to make x the subject of formula, so I'll divide both sides by m, divide both sides by m squared. So that will give, so that gives m squared x y minus xz divided by m squared divided by m squared equals to a plus b squared divided by m squared. M squared cancel m squared here. If you look at this first part, x is common to the bracket. Factorize x out, you'll be left with y minus z equals to a plus b squared over m squared. So I'll divide both sides by y minus z, so therefore you have x equals a plus b squared over m squared, then divided by that means x minus y that becomes y minus z. So therefore x is now make the subject of formula as x equals a plus b squared over m squared y minus z. That settles the A part of the question. Then the subject of formula A now is the B part. Now you have it that x equals to A plus B squared over m squared in bracket of y minus z. So all I need now is to put in the value when A in the question, m is 5, m is 5, A is 12, m equals 5, A equals 12, B is 8, y is 7.5, and z equals 4. Once we have this, we put them into this equation. The subject of formula x now becomes A is 12, plus B is 8, all is to be squared, over m is 5, that is 5 with squared, then in bracket of y is 7.5 minus z, which is 4. So if we work here, 12 plus 8 gives 20, so you have 20 squared over 5 squared, then 7.5 minus 4, 3.5. So 20 squared will give 400 over 25 in bracket of 3.5. So if we move from that point, 400 over 25 times, turn the mixed fraction to improper fraction, 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7 over 2 equals 400 over 25 times 7, all divided by 2. So you can have it as 400 divided by 25 times 7 over 2, and that gives 400 times 2 over 25 times 7. 25 here 1, 25 in 400, that will be 25 in 100, 4 in 400, that will be 16 times. So 16 multiplied by 2, that will give you 32 over 7. 32 over 7, turn it into a mixed fraction again. How many times will you see 7 in 32? 7 times 4 is 28, 4 times remaining 4 all over 7.